What up, nation? Welcome to another edition of the WiseTake MLB DFS Wise stream. CK013 here. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013, and I, of course, am from the WiseTake Nation, which you could find on all the social media platforms listed above, directly at WiseTake.com if you're looking to take your DFS game to the next level. We are a premium DFS content provider as well as a DFS community designed to help make you a better DFS player. Go check us out. Day Pass is available if you want to try us out. That being said, if you're new to this channel, welcome. You've come to the right place for some free fire DFS content. So make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications bell. Don't miss out on any of the free content we put out. Currently covering slates Monday through Friday. Meaning we stream live Sunday night through Thursday night with our first look. NFL's around the corner. Before you know it, NBA will be starting back up, and we cover those too. So make sure you're along for the ride. Pat Bush, what's going on, bro? Pat Bush, I should have listened to you on the Luis Garcia play. I may still get in the cash on the cash contest, but my 2 GPP lineups are dead. Happens, man. I just spent the last 4 or 5 days talking about my last minute pivots or last minute decisions that didn't work out. Today I happened to be right on Luis Garcia. Wrote that. Threw him in a core. If you notice, I didn't even like really anybody else from the Nationals. I just liked him enough to put him in the core. He was actually tearing it up in AAA, tearing it up. So that's really all that was. Chase Anderson's not a good pitcher. Shit happens, man. But you know damn well. I have some days that just aren't great on paper. Even on days I've done well, the stuff that sometimes I've been heavier on, it didn't work out. So hey, listen, man, it is what it is. You've been doing pretty well for yourself, I believe. I know in NBA you were real hot, man. I know you were doing dirts in NBA. But yeah, Luis Garcia, shout out to you. He was like 0.93% owned, I think, in the contest I was in. Pretty wild. Anyway, we've got small slates. Little change of pace from these massive double-digit slates. Small slate. What is it, like 5 games? I think it is. Is that right? 6 games. 6 games, excuse me. Now, there's an early slate for those of you that want to get down on early. But we're going to discuss the main. Framber Valdez. We're going to start with top pitchers. At home against Minnesota. Framber's look good. Ground ball rate is where it should be for him. He's got an elite ground ball stuff. 21.5% K rate's low. That's really low for him. We take a look at the Twins. We expect them to kind of fall. We expect the strikeout rate to rise. Remember, this is on the season, and they did get rid of Nelson Cruz. Donaldson's been out. It's a little bit of a different team. They're playing some of the young guys that have power, but also strike out a lot more. So I think Framber is definitely your cash game SP1. The question, arguably, well, to me he feels safer because he's in Houston. Sonny Gray would be the next choice, and you could argue that Sonny Gray's 29% K rate kind of commands it. He also has a better XFIP, better Sierra, right? And I do like Sonny Gray. I think in cash games you try to find a way to play both, right? No cores on this slate. You get creative and you find a way to play both. On FanDuel, when it comes to picking one or the other, that's tricky, man. That's tricky. But Pittsburgh, we know, is not a good offense, but they can be pesky, right? 21.7% K rate, although they've been playing some of their younger guys, so some of the actual individual strikeout rates in those lineups have been a little higher lately. I'll say that. But still, a 130 ISO, 297 WOBA, 85 WRC plus. Only issue is Sonny Gray pitches in Cincinnati. Very hitter-friendly park. But they're both, man, flip-flop, whatever you want to do. They're both in great spots. After that, it's kind of ugly. I think Nestor Cortez kind of stands out. Now, this was more of a DraftKings deal, obviously, because pitch count concerns, right? Nestor did throw 79 pitches against Tampa Bay. That's pretty good. He's at home in Yankee Stadium, not a great pitching park, right? Very hitter friendly. But in a little bit we've seen of him, the little bit we've seen of Nestor Cortez, his numbers are strong, man. 30.5% K rate. Small sample for him, but the highest on a slate, right? 3.28 Sierra. It looks good. So I got no problem pitching Nestor Cortez on DraftKings, and as far as like SP2 status, Seattle's been very difficult lately. But on the season, they still have a 27% K rate against lefties. They do have a 171 ISO. They've been playing better. But still a 27% K rate. Definitely like Nestor Cortez. And then Touki Toussaint. I mean, this is tournament only, obviously. But despite a rough outing in his last game, still has a 28% K rate. Sierra and XFIP are phenomenal. Ground ball rate, 52%. St. Louis, not a very good offense this season against righties, but also kind of pesky. 22% strikeout rate. If you're not getting strikeouts with Touki, that's where things could become an issue. But those are the 4 pitches that stand out to me, right? Offenses. I think the Blue Jays will be very popular again, rightfully so. They'll face Tristan McKenzie, who has a 28.5% K rate, but also has a massive fly ball rate. And an XFIP and Sierra that are very high. We know Toronto's a very tough team to strike out. If they can put the ball in play against McKenzie, chances are it's going to be in the air. And the Blue Jays hit the ball pretty hard. The Yankees against Tyler Anderson. The Yankees been playing better offensively. They get into the lefty at home in Yankee Stadium. I mean, what's not to like? The Yankees have crept up to second. That's right, second in WRC plus. Tied with the Nats. How about that? Against lefties, 115, 174 ISO. It's creeping up. Everything's creeping up. They're starting to look a little bit more like the Yankees that we expected to see. So yeah, the Yankees will be getting some attention. The White Sox may not be as owned. I mean, they're going to be owned as a small slate, and they go against Daniel Lynch, a lefty, whose numbers are pathetic. 13% K rate, 5.37 Sierra, 5.04 XFIP, 37% hard contact rate, only a 38% ground ball rate. And this is a small park in Chicago. So in combination with that and the fact that the White Sox are still tied for, I guess they're technically 4th, right? In WRC plus against lefties. 171 ISO. They got Eloy Jimenez back, even though he's been a little He did homer for me once, but so yeah, I think the only reason I say maybe they go a little under the radar is because offensively they've sucked recently. So maybe people are just, I don't know, probably not. Because you also have Houston against Griffin Jacks, whose numbers leave very little to be desired. Currently a 53% fly ball rate. They're at home, Houston. Obviously, Houston a very good offense. Matter of fact, they lead the league in WRC plus against righties at 119. 181 ISO, coming off of seeing Max Scherzer. Now they get Griffin Jacks. Those are the 4 offenses I anticipate to be the most popular, to get the most attention, and rightfully so. Things to watch. Ross Stripling against Cleveland. Stripling's numbers are not awful. They're not great. They're blah. Cleveland's offense, it's kind of like that, right? 169 ISO, 300 WOBA, 87 WRC plus, 24% K rate. Curious to see what wins out there. And then Dallas Keuchel against Kansas City. Kansas City went off against Giolito. Wouldn't be surprised if they struggled against Keuchel, just because that's just the way things go. Again, numbers aren't great, but which way would you go if you had to pick? If you had to pick a side, which I don't really like Kansas City or Keuchel, I'm just saying if you had to pick a side, which way would you lean? Last but not least, Will Crowe against Cincinnati. Great hitting park for Cincinnati. They're an offense that could certainly fly under the radar. But Will Crowe has been kind of trolly lately, right? He's been a little trolly at times, right? Probably should have put Cincinnati in the top stack segment. Will Crowe wasn't even on my list. I just threw him in there. I just noticed him and was like, shit, I forgot to talk about this motherfucker. So in reality, Cincinnati should have been in the top offense. They'll definitely get some attention, especially after the people that play the early slate had some success stacking them, I think. So, great hitting park, right? Yeah. Okay. Time to grind. Feels like more lineups the better. I always preached MME and I still like playing that way. But after having a kid and everything like that, a baby, you don't always have the time to play the way you want to play. So I've gone back down to just kind of, being efficient with my time, building like 3 to 4 to 5 teams, and it's been working out. But that's for the work that's from the work we put in, all of us. But I could definitely tell you more lineups better. Always more lineups better. Pitching will be hard to nail down. Yeah, I mean it's pretty straightforward. It's just when you try to get different, you don't want to get too cute. Like you look at this, and I talked about those 4 pitchers. I'm sure those 4 pitchers will also be the most popular on the slate, right? And which one do you take? Like, I don't think all 4 of them bust. So it's either picking the right 2 on DraftKings or the right 1 on FanDuel, or finding that one pivot. You don't want to get too cute and then, fuck it up. Play somebody, get you a negative, and then, your offense goes off. That's just the worst. Does happen. Dong watcher, we're out of here. Tim Anderson, number 1. Giancarlo Stanton of the Yankees against the lefty at home Yankee Stadium, number 2. Vlad Guerrero, and I like Vlad Guerrero because I know Vlad has a tendency to hit the ball on the ground sometimes, and McKenzie has a massive fly ball rate. So let's fucking go, Vlad Guerrero. That's going to do it, nation, for this edition of the MLB Wise Stream. Appreciate those of you who hung out with me live. Appreciate those of you who took the time to listen or watch after the fact. Please hit the like button on your way out. Leave some comments. Love hearing the feedback. Love hearing your guys' thoughts on the slate. Love reading that shit. I appreciate you. For myself, the entire WiseTake Nation, as always, good luck.